Good evening. I hope everyone has had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. This is your 28storms.com tropical weather update for Thursday, November 24th. We are still dealing with what is left of Kenneth in the eastern Pacific. As of the latest official advisory, Kenneth is now a tropical storm with 45-mile-per-hour maximum sustained winds, and compared to yesterday, the Hurricane Center is forecasting the storm's demise a little bit sooner. It looks like it's going to happen by 10 a.m. on Saturday. On the latest zoomed-in visible satellite animation, we can see that the center of circulation is continuing to outrun the most recent convection by a rather wide margin, and on the latest enhanced infrared, we do notice that there was a slight increase in convection about several hours ago. However, that convection is also now on the decline. We can also make out what is left of Tropical Storm Kenneth on the latest regional water vapor for much of the central and eastern Pacific, but the rest of the Pacific Basin is quiet, and it appears it will stay that way for the remainder of hurricane season. Just about the same can be said for the Atlantic Basin. The only area that we even see much in the way of any convection is across the central and southern Caribbean, and if there is going to be literally any type of surprise remaining over the next few days, the remaining days of the hurricane season, it may stem from this general area only if an area of convection can begin to consolidate and develop one primary area of low pressure. But again, I would place those odds at probably less than 5% as it stands right now. But that will be the one thing to watch, as there's really nothing else left on the maps. This is the latest 18Z run from the GFS model, and we don't see much out there, with the one exception being this very weak 850 millibar vorticity max lingering around the central Caribbean through day 7. And if it were to persist in this one location for an extended period, then it could slightly enhance the odds of some type of tropical disturbance attempting to get its act together, but I would place those odds at near 0%, and it's somewhat unlikely that this area of low heights or vorticity will linger down there as being indicated by the GFS. Right now, this is basically the most aggressive model, and yet the GFS still isn't showing anything close to what would be considered a tropical storm. Just for the purpose of comparison, this is the latest 12Z run of the Canadian CMC, and in fact it does maintain a weak area of vorticity and low pressure over the south central Caribbean throughout the next 6 days, but it also must be remembered that the Canadian CMC has the tendency to overdevelop a lot of systems in the tropics. The third model we will take a close look at is the ECMWF, and this particular model has had the best track record in the tropics over the past several years, and the good news that I do have to report is that the European is not showing any remaining disturbances all the way through the final day of hurricane season, and the area of low pressure that you see over the Northeast Gulf extending into Florida and Georgia is not tropical related. So we will continue to keep an eye on the Caribbean, but I really would not bank on anything occurring, which is certainly some good news because it's been a rather active season with nearly 20 named storms, so this is another hyperactive year if you consider the tropical storm totals. So thank you for tuning in. We will have another video update for you here at 28storms.com by tomorrow evening.